Yes, yo soy Viviana Carrasco. I am very honored to be your Fort Worth chapter host, but most of all, I'm honored to be here today with our hometown hero and matriarch, our champion, who has inspired change in us and in actually the nation. So welcome, Miss Opal Lee.
Thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored. And to know that there's so many young people who believe in what we're doing. I just thank you.
You are so welcome. Speaking of young people, for those of us that want to make change, to want to inspire things to change, do you have any advice or guidance for them?
All I'd say to young people is if you have a passion and you know it's right, then you go for it. There are going to be obstacles. It's just going to be like you're running an obstacle race, but you're never, ever to give up. And it will take a while. It's not just going to happen overnight. You need to know that you're in for the long haul. And sometimes the long haul is long. So I'd advise the youngsters, if you start something, be sure you're going to finish it.
Be sure to finish.
Yeah.
Be sure to finish. And we aren't patient in this society. So that is very, very relevant advice to keep at it as long as it takes. What I'd like to know, Opal, we have the amazing opportunity to sit with you after you made it happen. How did you feel?
I don't even know how to explain it. I'm still on cloud 9. Joyful, humble, and knowing that this is just one step on a long step of getting some things done. And I want the young people, and there were so many who embraced Juneteenth and the freedom that we all should have. And of course, people aren't willing to accept the fact that we aren't free yet. If we've got homelessness and joblessness, and the schools aren't quite telling the truth about our past, our healthcare system where some can get what they need and others can't. The criminal justice system that needs, in my opinion, overhauling. Climate change. All these things need to be addressed. And I think we need to take them one at a time. I don't see myself being here when they are all attended to. But I hope we would start with education. That maybe we can teach the younger people who are going to be the ones to get us over what I'm going to call the hump. And so the younger the better. I wrote a little book called Juneteenth for Children, and it's for the little ones up to about 3rd grade. I don't have a thing in it that would make a child, be fearful. I'm wanting us to discuss our past. I'm wanting us to be able to get past that, but we got to heal, and then get on with the work that's before us, and there's plenty of work. The racism that still exists, we've got to do something about that. And we don't have any guns. All we've got is a good mind. All we've got is the tech stuff that you young people know about.
Paraphernalia.
Yes. So the sooner we get to it, the better.
The sooner the better. Education, you're a lifelong educator. Mm-hmm. And one of the things in my culture, my Hispanic culture, and I'm sure in yours too, is our mothers and grandmothers are very significant to our education mm-hmm. and growing up. I'd like to know who was a matriarch for you that inspired you to have this passion?
Well, it goes all the way back to my mother's mother and father. They were farmers in Texarkana, Arkansas. My mother was one of 19 brothers and sisters, 3 sets of twins. But my grandmother was a person who told you to do something one time, and you knew you'd better get it done. You know?
I do.
She didn't brook any foolishness.
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather, he was a minister. You know, he had a church here, a circuit ride preacher. He was a jovial person, but he too had a stern part of it. But my grandmother, and there have been others. My mother, Hazel Harvey Peace, who was the dean of our high school, she did weigh about 120 pounds dripping wet. But when she spoke, it was like she had a fist in a velvet glove. Boy, I want you to know we belong to the same church. I'm full grown with children. We're in the vestibule. Whatever I had on, she says, young lady, tuck your shirt in. I tucked it in. When I didn't see her, I pulled it out. But there have been strong women. Mm-hmm. Lenora Rower was a mentor for me. Augusta Gooch, who was a professor at TCU. These people impart things to you. You learn. And each one of them has said, more or less, if you start something, finish it. Whatever it takes, however long it takes, finish it.
That is beautiful advice. Beautiful advice. We have, as I mentioned earlier, an audience of creatives from around the world, lots of young people mm-hmm. ready to listen to you. And one of the things that we're going to let them do is ask questions. So Megan and Brian, if you'll go ahead and just queue up some questions for us. I want to, as they're doing that, I want to sort of segue to this amazing space that we're in.
Let me tell you. We had a food bank that burned. So with other people, we started another food bank. Except there's a huge building behind my house, and I asked to use it. The owners leased it to us for $4,000 a month. I wonder, where on earth are we going to get that kind of money? We paid it 11 months. The month we didn't have it, those people came to us and said, you seem to be doing a good job. And they gave us a $1.3 million building.
Oh my gosh, I just have chills over my whole body.
Okay, people standing in line to get food, I polled it. And 66 of them said they were willing to farm. I trotted to the Trinity River Authority, and they gave me the use of 13 acres on the Trinity River. And this is it. Well, of those 66 people, we chose to work with the people who had been incarcerated and couldn't find a job. And what we have in mind is they learn farming. Some people just think farming is dropping some seeds. There's lots more to it than that. We don't use pesticides. And when they have finished the course, then they are certified by one of the colleges or universities in the area. They are able to go apply their trade. And I think with the pandemic, they're going to be in demand. People need to know what to plant in their backyards, what to plant on the vacant lots, you know? And so, if you know anybody who wants to get into our program, send them our way.
There you go. You ready to farm? Opal's got a spot for you. So, Brian, Michael, thank you.
Can you repeat it if you need to? So,
yes.
We'd like to know how she feels since the passage of Juneteenth holiday.
How do you feel since the passage of the holiday? I celebrated my heart out.
I tell you, I'd always said that when it was passed, I was going to do a holy dance. Well, I was downtown at the end of the walk on Saturday. They tell me my holy dance turned into a twerk, whatever that is. But I'm overjoyed. I really am. I just know that I'm going to take a deep breath and we're going to get into the other things that need to be attended to. We've got momentum and we can't stop. We mustn't stop.
Amen.
We must keep on. And to have over 1 million people thinking like you were thinking, now that's something.
That is something. There's also an opportunity for you to join the historic petition. It doesn't close until July 5th, and Brian and Megan will put that in the chat for you before we close up, so you know exactly where to go to get that.
If you share your wisdom on parenting and legacy.
Parenting. Well, I had 4 children, and I just turned 17 when my first child was born. So I kind of grew up with them. And thank God for the mother I had who steered me in the right direction. All I know is if you got them, love them.
Amen.
That's all I know about children is if you give them a lot of love, you should keep them clean, for heaven's sake. And read to them, share things with them. They're going to be rambunctious. My 3rd child, Thomas was a child and a half. He still is. But if you nurture them, there's just no way that they're not going to come out all right.
Kind of like your vegetables here.
What was it like to be at the White House last week?
Awesome. Positively awesome. I enjoyed it so much. And really, I really believe I was on cloud 9. And the president said something to me, and everybody wants to know what he said. I ain't telling. Keeping it to myself.
What is the key to your grace and longevity?
Oh, that's a beautiful question.
Hard work. I've had a job ever since I was 10 years old. I had an aunt who was a cook with a child, and she lived in service. I had to babysit with the child while she was doing her work. Newspaper routes. I'm a girl, but I had me a newspaper route. And when my children got old enough, everybody had him a paper route. Every tub had to sit on its own bottom. There were things we wanted that our parents couldn't get for us, so you had to work for it your darn self. Did that answer that?
That did. Your grace and longevity. What, do you have any secrets for being so vital and beautiful at your age?
Oh, nothing but work, kid. As long as you can wash your face and get your body clean and keep moving.
Keep moving.
I don't know nothing else you can do. And that has always been work. Mm-hmm. There's always been something that needs to be done. So if you don't think too much about yourself, and if you help other people, if you got problems, you forget them.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
How do you feel about calling people or your elders by their first name? Since many people know you as Mrs. Opal or Miss Opal, are you comfortable with that?
I'll answer to anything as long as you get my attention. I don't mind. We know there are elders that we prefer to call them with a salutation, Mr., Mrs., Miss. But for me, I answer to anything.
Oh, that beautiful smile. I just can't get over how...
Speaking of momentum, what else should we focus on next?
Education, education, and more education. And I don't mean just the schools. Parents need to be educated. So they in turn, because they spend a lot more time with the kids than the schools do. So I want to focus on education.
What is your opinion on reparations and if they should happen or not?
I do believe there should be reparations. I don't have the slightest idea how it's to be done. How many millions of people can you give $10 or 15 or 12 or whatnot? I think there should be a pool of money that, again, reaches out to education, teaches children the tech stuff, the space stuff, or whatever is the going thing. Reparations? Yeah. Others have been paid reparations. We paid them to the Japanese. We've paid all kinds of stuff. Take the reparations and do something with it. Help the homeless. Help the jobless. Do something about climate control. Yeah, reparations.
We have Creative Mornings is an engine of generosity. We're an all volunteer force, and we are sponsored by local partners. I'd like to also invite anyone that's here to ask a question that they have maybe on their mind. But Michael,
That is Joel.
this is Greg. Greg, do you want to say hi? This is Greg. He is the farm manager.
Yes, indeed. He's my right hand. He's
Amen.
And my left one too.
Here's the camera, Greg. One more question.
Just one more. Okay. How can we best incorporate the lessons of history from lived experiences like yours into the path ahead?
How do we incorporate the lessons of history into the path ahead?
The
Path ahead.
I just think that if we absorb what's happened, and if we are Christians, those kinds of things, they've happened in the Bible. Mm-hmm. The kinds of things, maybe the Bible has not been, the descriptions haven't been what actually happened to the enslaved. But we knew there were slaves in the Bible. We know this has happened to us. We know it was horrific. But there are horrific things happening now. We've got the sex trade. I think it's horrible. that young children are subjected to that kind of stuff. We've got people who bring folk over to look after their households and their children, take their passport. They don't know anybody. I think these things need to be addressed. There are other horrible things happening now. And we need to be able to eradicate those things that's like slavery was eradicated, and learn and be sure that none of this stuff happens again. It's unconscionable, is that the word? To have sex slaves and the people who are in bondage still. We should be addressing those things. Mm-hmm. And I, for one, think education is a place to start.
Amen. I agree with you. Thank you.
Would you say that your wonderful humor is an important to give you strength to persevere? And is that a recipe for others too?
I got it from my grandpa. Oh, he would do such. My aunt, one of them, would have her bed just the way she spent time fixing. He'd jump right in the middle of it. Or gate post where that car is over there.
Yes, ma'am.
He says, "You see that needle on that post over there?" What? You can't see the needle on it? Sure enough, that'd be a needle, but he would have placed it. We thought he had eagle eyes. My grandmother, he'd say, she'd be cooking mounds of tea cakes. He'd say, "Go get you one and bring me one." And we'd crawl up to that plate. She'd say, "Reverend Broadus, you ought to be ashamed of yourself." He was a cut-up.
He was.
Oh, wow. So I guess I got a little of it in my DNA, I think. Is that it?
Got one more. With so many horrific things in the news all the time, where do you turn to feed your joy and keep your perspective so that you can continue to lead and inspire others to action?
Such a good.
I've got a huge family. And when you take care of them or see about them, and I love to read. If I can find me a corner and turn off the phone and have a good book, and each of you should read Cass. Anybody read Cass? Read Cass. And then if you really want a good mystery, read I Know Why the Crawdads Sing. That's a doozy. A good book, you can lose yourself in it.
And
that's all I know.
That feeds you.
Yeah.
That feeds your joy.
Yeah.
Do we have any one or two final questions from any of our volunteers, our crew here with us? Go ahead, Christina.
So, when you think of matriarchy, you think a lot of the traditional roles a mother plays in the lives of her family. Do you pull from any specific memories from either associations with food that you think of instantly takes you home to your mother?
When you think of matriarchy, are there any specific memories that you go to or foods that take you right back to your mother?
You know, my mother would admonish me, and she called me Baby Opal.
Baby Opal.
Baby Opal, you should know better than that. Oh, Baby Opal, get such and such a thing done. And so, when I see little ones, I think of my mama saying Baby Opal. And cook, she was a gourmet cook. My daughter and my granddaughter cooked. They couldn't keep me still long enough to do anything but boil water.
We're kindred spirits, Miss Opal.
I do know how to do beans and potatoes, and I had a husband, steak and potatoes. I was home free. I didn't have to do gourmet meals or anything special. He liked the same thing over and over again.
Nice. So you've talked to us about family, about maintaining your joy, about advocating for education, and continuing to move forward, regardless of how long it takes to get whatever you want done. And your secret to your liveliness is, just working hard towards a passion. I believe is what you said. What else do you have for us? It is our honor and joy to be with you today.
Bless your heart. Well, if you got any time, you could help Joel get the weeds out.
We got lots of weeds from all that rain.
That rain. I really want to come out and help it myself, but I haven't. We're going to get some young folk out here, but I am in love with this farm. Do you hear me? And I want it to be a teaching tool. I want others to know that they too can have, they don't have to be a farm. Hey, I've got a friend who grows in his front yard. You should see his tomatoes and his collard greens and carrots. What's his name? Dr. Glover, Dr. Clarence Glover, Professor TCU, grows the stuff in his chickens in his backyard. Oh, we need to get back to getting our own food. It'll be a lot of less stuff in it that makes you sick, when you, that's a different thing.
Well, I'll tell you, Stacy your volunteer coordinator, shared a couple of your tomatoes with me yesterday, and I ate them like an apple. They were delicious.
That's what I used to do, rub them on your leg and just
bite right into them.
I think my granddaughter loves, what kind of peas?
Sugar snap peas.
Sugar snap peas, and that's the way she eats them. They're right out of the shell, Stuff is so healthy for you.
Greg, how can people, if they're interested in volunteering for the farm, how do they reach you, or do they go to?
They can call me directly. They can also go to unityunlimited.org.
unityunlimited.org.
And there's a sign-up page for Opal's Farm.
There's a sign-up page there for Opal's Farm.
Or they can call me directly at 817.
Greg's number is 817-333-8367. 8367. And it is my hope that you'll take Opal up on her offer to work the farm, to learn about what we need to come back to, and reach out to Greg. He's a wonderful human. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
That's it?
I think we'll call it a wrap unless you have anything else.
Let's make sure Megan posts where to donate.
Oh, Megan, we have in the chat script the donation link to Unity. So you'll see that. And there's also the link to sign the historical petition. It doesn't close until July 5th. Are there any final words that you have for our global audience? We have guests from all over the world, Miss Opal. Excited to be with you.
Just continue to love each other. I keep saying, if we would make ourselves a committee of one, because you know somebody who's not on the same page that you are on, and change their minds. Their minds can be changed. If people have been taught to hate, they can be taught to love. And I want everybody to be aware that you too can be a part of this movement to make our world a lot better place than it is. And these United States should be leading other countries I wonder if you know that France sent the Statue of Liberty to the United States as a gift just after the Civil War. On her left foot, you can see the shackles to indicate you've passed that stage now. You should get on with the business of making your country the best country. We didn't take that advice. Do you know France has sent another Statue of Liberty to the United States at this particular time? It's not as large as the first one, but it's identical. And here we are going through a phase where we are going to end the racism. We are going to end up being an America, and everybody is going to be an America. I don't like hyphenated America. I want to be an America. But check out those statues of liberty and what they seem to mean to us. And if France can see that we are at a turning point, we ought to be able to see it. That's all.
Amen. Well, thank you for joining us today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I'd like for you to save the date on July 25th for our next guest speaker, Meta Kessler, who is the editorial director for 360. It has been our joy and honor to be with you and with Miss Opal today on her beloved farm with all these hearts and hands that have helped us through this. Thank you.
Thank you, young people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. How soon can you come again?